Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. Fire potential impacts for the next few days are shown here. We're looking for some breezy winds to continue over southern Nevada today, and that area expands to include southeast Nevada and southwest Utah on Wednesday, ahead of a mostly dry cold front that's moving through Idaho. That little cold front will bring some isolated storms to parts of southern Idaho Wednesday and overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning over eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. Yesterday was a pretty quiet day for thunderstorms, just a few little pop-ups there in eastern Utah and only a few little isolated storms. Initial attack activity is shown here. We had 13 new fires for 21 acres and our large fire growth was 179 acres. Observed precipitation for the past 14 days, percent of normal here, still showing the impacts from that last low pressure system over Idaho with some above normal precipitation there. Otherwise, Nevada and Utah are still very dry in the last couple of weeks, with the exception there over far southern Nevada where again they saw some of that deeper monsoonal moisture there across far southern Nevada and over the higher elevations of some of the south central Utah mountains. Looking at our ERC trends here, we can see the values are still somewhat lower across the north over Idaho from the recent precipitation. However, over Utah and Nevada, those values are higher and on an upward trend with the warm and dry weather moving into the area. A closer look at a few of these zones over northwest Utah or northwest Nevada, we can see those values are above normal for the time of year, but below the historical records, kind of right up on the 80th percentile right now and forecasted to continue to increase. Further south over southwest Utah, those values are quite a bit higher, close to the historical records for the time of year, right around that 97th percentile, and those values should stay quite elevated through the week. Smoke impacts for the next couple of days really just include some smoke coming off the Mount Irish and the Forsyth fires across the southern Great Basin. This morning's satellite imagery shows high pressure ridge in place across the Great Basin for very warm temperatures today. In fact, today will probably be the hottest day of the week for most of the area. And then we see this low pressure center here off the California coast that's going to be bringing that generally dry cold front through the area on Wednesday. So for today, high pressure ridge in place across the area, generally dry and hot. We do have some high risk across southern Nevada for some breezy winds there out ahead of that low over northern California. Again, the winds for today are somewhat borderline. We're looking for gusts 25 to 30 miles an hour over those over southern Nevada today. Minimum relative humidities are quite low across the area with single digits over Utah and Nevada and just a little bit higher over Idaho. On Wednesday, we'll start to see that low open up and move across northern Nevada here. We do have high risk for a larger area over southeast Nevada and southwest Utah as that low pressure system tracks across the northern portions of the area. And then high risk for some isolated thunderstorms over southwest Idaho on Wednesday as that low tracks through. On Wednesday, we see the winds pick up over southwest or southeast Nevada and into southwest Utah with gusts up into the 30 to 35 mile an hour range. And then we also see some precipitation chances move into western Idaho for some isolated mixed wet dry storms there as that low moves through. Could see a stray storm or two over Utah on Wednesday. On Thursday, that low quickly moves off to the east, but we'll see the storms move overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning through eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. So we do have high risk for those possibly nocturnal storms over eastern Idaho and western Wyoming in Thursday morning hours. Wind gusts pick up behind the front over Idaho along the Snake River Plain there. And then again, we'll see those isolated storms in the overnight hours over eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. Max temperatures just showing the change here between today and Thursday. Highs near 100 degrees or over 100 degrees in Boise in the upper 90s across many of the other valley areas today. And then by Thursday, we'll see those temperatures drop 15 or so degrees, 10 to 15 degrees, with highs mostly in the 80s to maybe right around 90 degrees. The 3-day precip totals, again here showing that those precipitation chances Wednesday into Thursday across Idaho, and may see a storm here or there in northern Utah as well. On Friday, the high pressure ridge rebuilds back into the Great Basin for a return of some warmer temperatures, kind of Friday may still be a cooler day across the north, but we'll start to see some warming back across the south. No high risk triggers in place on Friday. Saturday, the ridge continues to rebuild across the west for continued warming temperatures, generally light winds. And more of the same on Sunday. Warm, dry across the area. And that trend continues into Monday as well. There is a little low that's moving across the Canadian border there, but shouldn't impact us too much. So we'll see continued warm and dry conditions across the Great Basin as we head into the first part of next week. The 7-day precip totals, again, just showing mainly that precipitation that we're expecting Wednesday into Thursday across the north, otherwise dry for the rest of the region. Then the extended forecast for July 15th through the 21st keeps the bullseye of warm temperatures over the Great Basin, especially Idaho, northern Nevada, and northern Utah. And then below normal precipitation is expected across those areas as well. But we may see another monsoon surge coming in that 8 to 14 day period across the southern Great Basin. That concludes today's briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.